Hi, once again, we're back here at Roosevelt Field. It's halftime, Norristown 14, Abington 13. And up here in the press box with me is an old friend of mine, a college football coach, an old high school coach, someone that I happen to have the pleasure of coaching against when I was at Norristown, and he was the head coach at Springfield, Al Black. Al, it's great to see you.
Jack, it's great to see you again. Just love high school football.
I thought if anyone would be over here tonight in a cold night like this, it'd be you. You and your wife down here. Let me say, you're with Bill Manlove again, I understand, over at Widener?
Yes, we are, yeah. I was at Millersville last 2 seasons.
I know.
Back at Widener, yes.
I know you're at Millersville. You know, you've traveled around almost as much as me. The two of us, we could get a moving van, I think, and go over. How's Bill doing?
Bill's doing real well. The offense is struggling this year, but the defense has been playing very well.
What we're talking about, fans, is Widener University, where Bill Manlove is the head football coach here. I coached there on the defensive side of the ball, also with the offensive side of the ball, and Al Black was the offensive coordinator there for 3 to 4 years. Coach, what are you going to be doing with yourself? I know you're not going to be staying out of football. You're not like me. I got a TV job. I'm going to be going into ESPN soon anyway, you know what I mean? But I know you are definitely going to be back full-time in football. Where are you looking to go?
Well, I know John Madden's getting old, so I figure you got a spot coming in there.
You had to get that in about age.
I'll tell you, on a night like this, I think I'm going to try and check my old superintendent from Springfield and see if he's got a job for me. He's superintendent of schools in San Diego now, and a sunny and warm sounds real good on a cold night.
Get out at San Diego?
Yeah.
You know, speaking about Springfield, I got to say one thing about Coach Black. I have never in my life, and I've said it many times, seen a high school football team like you. Al, what was that year? What was the year when you had that undefeated team? They averaged, I think it was 49 points a game or 50 points a game.
Yeah. That was 20 years ago, 1970.
1970. I think we went over and we played. Bud, you were my secondary coach. We went over and played them, and I think at halftime we were giving you a ball game, and I went in at halftime, I'll never forget it. Bud, you remember this, and the kids were all excited, and they were jumping up and down. As it's too bad we got to go out and play another 30 minutes, and you came out and you just killed us in the second half. I think it was 42 to 15 or something like that.
48-22.
You remember that score? Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, Coach, I remember over here, I made you play in a hurricane.
Now, you were willing to call it off, and I said, let's go through with it. And we played in 2 inches of water. That was 69. That was an awful, awful night.
Who won that game?
You won, Chuck.
What was that?
7-0.
So we're 1-1. But you're never going to get even with me again because I'm out of it. But you'll be back in it next year, I know. Well, listen, tell me, how's Coachville doing? I know you're a teacher up there. Do you get to, I guess you don't see any of their games because you're down at Widener on Saturdays.
I get to see the videos during the week just because I teach a lot of the students and then look for the talent and the teams that they're playing. And they're struggling this year. They have a great running back in Tony Miller. He may be one of the best defensive players in the whole state. But they're struggling beyond that. And Downingtown probably has the best talent in that part of the District 1.
You know, Al, there's been talk about a realignment of the Suburban 1, and they're talking about Coachville. There's talk that Coachville and Norristown might be playing Thanksgiving in the next 2 years. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, I don't know about that game or not, but the Suburban 1 just voted down the Chestnut schools coming in. That'll be out in the next week that they've voted them out again.
Now, why would they do that? I don't understand that. I think that'd be great rivalries, and hey, they're good football schools, and I just don't understand that.
It's a shame because, particularly for those schools, because their problem is that they're growing, and they're growing in an area that's geographically difficult for everybody else in Suburban 1, but those schools down there are ideal for Suburban 1, except for the travel time for the Bucks County schools.
Well, is it true that they play each other twice in a league?
Yeah, it's like the NFL.
Like baseball series, huh? Well, it's been nice talking to you. I understand you're writing another book?
I just finished another book on the run and shoot, Jack, and it'll be out in February, yes.
What are you going to do with all the money you're making? Now, what do you mean? You've written, I think, 3 books. You've coached around 35 football teams. And now you're going to go out to San Diego to the old superintendent, maybe? This is unbelievable. You're looking good, Al.
Thanks, Jack. You look great, too.
Listen, it's been great having you here. And tell Coach Manlove good luck. And all my buddies over. Old Nick, tell Nick to get him tomorrow. You understand?
I will do
Who are we
so.
playing? Wilkes?
Wilkes University, yes.
Do you remember 3 years ago we beat them 60-6, wasn't it?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember that? Yeah, ask Bill. Okay. He'll tell you that. Al, take care, all right? It's nice seeing you. Say hello to your wife for me. Bud, let's recap this ball game while we got the mic on. Come on, Bud. All you want to do is drink coffee.
I want my hot chocolate, Jack. Would you get Al hot chocolate? He was good enough to be our guest.
Bud, what do you think now in the first period?
Well, recapping the first quarter, we come out, we were a little shaky, Jack. Kids were a little unsettled. We had the turnover. Abington took the ball, quick opener, and scored real quick on us, and I think our kids were in a state of shock with that quick score.
I think in that opening play that they had the 4 wide outs. They gave a quick opener to Wooten. He carried the ball 65 yards for a score. And I think exactly what you said, we were in a state of shock. Then they got the ball, but what happened in the second? We turned the ball over in a fumble.
Turned the ball over again on a fumble inside our own 25. Gave them the ball, and they took it in, and they punched in another touchdown on us. This time they missed the point. They were up 13-0.
Okay, it's 13-0 in the first period. Now we go into the second period, and the tide turns. What happened here?
I think the adjustment Roger made, he realized he couldn't run against him, so he had to start airing the ball. And he decided to go with the little hitch pass, down 5, down 6, little controlled passing game. It got him conscious of that. Then he started hitting Harbaugh up the middle. And then after he got the run going, then he came back and started with a little quick slants across the middle. Abington's secondary is playing very cautiously. They're giving too much of a cushion, I think. And I think in the second half, you're going to see Roger go outside a little bit, maybe run a sequel, go deep on him. He hasn't done that yet.
Well, I think the surprise, too, in the second period was the running of Harbaugh, number 32. He did an excellent job carrying the football. Very hard to bring down. And it's like you said, our passing game seemed to open up our running ball game.
And I'm very impressed with Mike Lester. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity to play this year, and he looks like a seasoned quarterback out there. He has a nice touch to the ball, takes a little bit off when he has to, especially on that touchdown in the corner.
Well, this is his first start, but he has played quite a bit, Bud. He gets in the ball games when our other quarterback was here, but Mike throws the ball well, and he's up high in the stats in passing completions. I think the pass he threw to Darryl Dobbs in the corner pattern that he threw was just a beautiful pattern. He's wide open.
He had a nice touch on it, laid it up, and Dobbs just came down with a great grab. I'm impressed with him throwing across the middle, too.
It's a totally different Norristown football team than what I saw last week. I traveled up to Central Bucks, and our team just was flat. We looked flat when we came out in the field, and we just didn't seem to get things going. I don't think that Central Bucks is a poor football team. They're a strong football team. Mike Pettin does an exceptional job at Central Bucks West. But tonight, we just seem to be a different football team.
Well, I think momentum was on our side. The kids went in at halftime in control of the ball game. We put Abington deep. We kept them there. We forced them to punt. The only mistake was, I think, Mike looked at his primary receiver, looked at him for the time he took the ball from the center, and the safety made a real good read. I think he would look off his receivers, look one way, pump one way, and come back the other. And that's what he was doing earlier in the game. They're going to have a successful passing game.
That was right at the close of the first half. I'll tell you, but if we could go out and in there, hey, whether it be a touchdown or a field goal, it's either going to be 17-13 or 21-13. That could have broken the back of Abington. I'll be very truthful with you.
Well, I'm looking forward to a great second half. I think our kids have settled down, and Abington realized they're in for a ball game.
I'm very impressed with Mr. Wooten. He's an excellent runner from Abington. Excellent runner.
And their line's done a very nice job.
Yes, they have.
This young man Wilkins on defense is penetrating and breaking up our offensive tempo.
Okay, fans, that's it at halftime for us. I'll repeat, Norristown 14, Abington 13. And we got about 7 minutes before we start the second half. We'll pick it up there in the beginning of the second half. All right, we're back here at Roosevelt Field, about ready to start the second half. Captains are out in the field. But if we see first and second period in the third and fourth period like we saw in the beginning of this ball game, it's going to be a nail biter.
Well, Abington's receiving, so we taken the win, wins to our back in the third quarter. So if hopefully maybe Roger's thinking put them deep, contain them, put a few scores on the board, and then hang on in the fourth quarter.
Play a little defense. It's quite obvious the man we have to stop is Wooden. He's quite a running back. And it seems to me that Abington is going to have to stop Harbaugh.
What I'm surprised, they really haven't tried to go outside much. They're running that power. They're running off. They run the option a few times, but I would try to get Wooden out more often than what they have.
I think they only ran that option 3 times. Remember when Joe Schumacher had them over there? They ran that option against us.
Run it to death. And if you had a breakdown on your keys, they were gone.
All right, Miller's going to be doing the kicking off for Norristown. I see Redmond is one of the deep backs with Mills. No, it's Wooden and Redmond. All right, we're waiting for the second half kickoff. There goes the whistle. Miller approaches the ball. It looks like it might be going out of bounds. Or is it in the end zone? No, it's in the end zone. It's an automatic touchback, I believe.
No, it went out of bounds,
Did
Jack.
it go out?
We're going to kick over.
Yes, it did. It went out of bounds about the 2-yard line. So we'll have a 5-yard penalty. Instead of kicking off from the 40, we'll be kicking off from the 35.
And what they are trying to do is keep the ball away from Wooden.
I definitely wouldn't kick off the Wooden.
And that's why it happened to go out of bounds. They're kicking it away from him. Happened to take a roll.
It'll be interesting to see in the second half if we have any defensive adjustments. You know, our linebackers in the beginning of that first period were getting wiped out. Then in the second period, we played some football out there.
Made some adjustments.
All right, taking off from the 35-yard line. Low kick.
Little Swigler keeping it down.
Abington picks the ball up
Abington
on the 35-yard line and brings it back to the 42-yard line.
Good field position, midfield.
Excellent field position. Well, the penalty hurt. There's no doubt about it. First down and 10 for Abington on their own 42-yard line. All right, we have Roberts at quarterback, Wooden at the running back with High and Redmond. Out of the huddle comes Abington. Wilkins, the center, leads him out of the huddle. Split end to the left and a wishbone set. Norristown, the same defense. Quick opener.
There's that quick opener.
Looked like the fullback carrying there.
He really hasn't come down the line much tonight.
No, but you know, Roberts is doing a good job. That's a read. That's a quick read by that quarterback on that wishbone. And he's giving it that fullback, so he sees something there. Evidently, our defensive tackle's way to the outside.
He picked up 4 yards, so as long as they're going to give it to him, he's going to continue to ride him in there.
Okay, we have second down and 6. The ball's on the 46-yard line. I see now Norristown's closing in on the one tackle with the nose man. They're closing down. Hand off again to the fullback. This time, nice defensive play. Good job.
Nice tackle by Jones, number 4.
Craig Jones, the defensive end, made a beautiful hit on that play. And a gain about a half a yard, third down and 4. Ball moves up to about the 47-yard line. 14-13, Norristown over Abington. Out of the huddle come the Ghosts. Split end to the right, wishbone formation. Roberts takes the ball, keeps it, then pitches in the last instant.
That was a
good
dangerous
defense,
pitch.
But it was good defensive play. We had the quarterback and we also had the pitch man. I think they gained about 2 yards in the play.
2 yards on it.
And they're going to force in the punt. I would say it's fourth down and 2, and it looks like a definite punting situation. Goodley and Kelly will be deep for the Eagles of Norristown. Oh, look here, bud. They're not going to punt. They're not going to punt. We got our 2 men deep. They're not going to punt.
No, they're going for it.
Double tight wishbone. 4th and 2. Key play right here.
Timeout.
You know what they tried to do?
They tried to draw us off.
Right. And they almost succeeded on it, but we did get back. And as that clock was running down, he Roberts was forced to take a timeout.
Now Fitzgerald's coming in to do the punting,
Right.
number 14.
Little strategy there by Coach Moister. I'll tell you that could backfire.
That could be a costly timeout that he's used later on in the game.
You better believe it. Okay, we're going back. They're going back into punt formation. Kelly and Goodley going deep. It's twin safeties for the Eagles.
Fitzgerald's punting from his own 35.
Boy, they're not deep. He must not be much of a punter. I know he's got the wind against him. It's a pretty stiff wind. High snap. He gets the ball. And he shanks that. He shanks
That's out
that
at
ball.
about the 40, I guess the 36-yard line. 42?
I can hear Coach Fabrizio down there saying that ball went out on the 42-yard line. Good break for the Eagles. We have good field position with the wind on our backs. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't come out throwing right away.
I'd pick up right where they left off at the end of the first half.
All right, let's go over the offensive set for Norristown. In the backfield is Lester, Jackson, Harbaugh, and Kelly. In the front, we have Dobbs, Natali, Lockwood, Zadroga, Livingston, Stoudemire, and tight end is Jones. Split end to the right. Wishbone set for Norristown. It's a counterplay. Good run, not much blocking, but it was a nice run by the halfback, Steve Jackson. Tackle there was made by number 66.
I'm trying to check. I'm looking in for the program here, Jack.
Okay, we got second down and about 7. The ball's on the 45-yard line. Norristown and a split end to the left. Wishbone set. Quick handoff to Harbaugh right up the middle. Good gainer. It makes it about 3rd down and 1, and the ball's going to rest on the Abington 49-yard line.
That time he was brought down by number 88, Ralph Walker.
Substitution coming in for Norristown, number 79 coming in for Norristown. That's Peters coming in at tackle, and Natali's coming out.
Measuring for first down, and looks like we just short by half a foot, Jack.
Yep. We're in good position, 3rd down and about a half a foot. The ball rests on the 49 of Abington, and Harbaugh once again running real hard. You know who he reminds me of, buddy? He reminds me a little of Brooks.
Kevin
Remember?
Brooks.
Kevin Brooks.
Keeps the legs pumping.
That's exactly who he reminds me of.
You don't
Mike,
wrap the arms and take his legs, he's not going to come down.
Mike Zadroga over the ball, split end left again. Full house backfield for Norristown. Quarterback sneak, and I believe he's got the first down.
Picks it up easily.
1st and 10 for the Eagles on the 47-yard line of Abington. Eight minutes and 16 seconds left in the 3rd period. Norristown 14, Abington 13, and Norristown once again starting a drive.
We have a split end left.
Again,
solid backfield.
Full house backfield. The old power play, bud, to Steve Jackson. Off tackle to the right, he picks up 2 yards. And we got a 2nd down and 8 situation on the 44-yard line of Abington.
Excellent passing situation here.
2nd down is a good down to throw. Check that secondary and see if they're playing as loose as they were playing in that 2nd period. Okay, we have a split end here to the right. Again, a full house backfield for Norristown. It looks like the linebackers are going to blitz. They're up real tight.
They're offside.
Oh, they're offside. Although I think we might have moved. It looked to me like 68, our left tackle. Lockwood, he might have moved. Penalty is against Norristown. Number 68, Lockwood, was moving before the ball was snapped. You know, Bud, there it looked like they were moving those 2 linebackers in, and they were going to come. That makes it 2nd down and about 13 yards to go. And the ball moves back to the Abington 49-yard line. The way that Abington defensive line's charging, we have a screen pass, might go. All right, we're in a slot right eye. Lester takes the ball, fades the pass.
Here he is.
Looking. Nobody open. He's going to run the ball. Gets it back to about the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 3rd down and 10. And the ball rests on the Abington 47-yard line.
Way they're coming, they'd be ripe for a screen maybe.
That's what I thought in the last play. It looked like they had every receiver covered there in the secondary of Abington. Okay, here we have slot right, split end left, single back is Harbaugh. Lester fades the pass. Man blitzing up the middle, and it forced Harbaugh to throw the ball a lot faster than he wanted to throw it. Number 67 of Abington made a good hit on Lester. That's Brad Wilkins. Lester was a little shaken up in that play.
There's a flag down on the field.
I see a flag down there. I don't know what this is. Somebody said an ineligible receiver downfield. That's exactly what it was.
And obviously,
Abington's refusing the penalty, and I think it'll be a 4th down situation. Here's a situation, but if we can get our punt, get it deep in their territory and get them back within that 10-yard line, play a little defensive football, and get better field position on the exchange.
Because that's exactly how it worked for us in the first half. We put them deep, contained them, exchange of punts. We picked up better field position and eventually punched it in.
All right, Mike Roberts is deep for Abington. Norristown's punting. It's not the greatest of punts, but it might. No, it's out of bounds.
It goes out about the 25.
25-yard line. Not the type punt, Bud, you really would like to have in a situation like that.
Punters for both teams are having some difficulty tonight.
All right, Abington takes over in their own 25-yard line. Let's run down that offensive lineup for Abington. The quarterback is Roberts. The great running back, Wooden at halfback, High at the other running back, Redmond at fullback. The ends are Koch and Mills, and the tackles are Marshall and Strock. The guards are Peoples and Wagner, and at center is Wilkins. Double tight for Abington as they break the huddle on the wishbone. Definitely looks like a running set. 1st and 10. Looked like Abington jumped.
And again, to give it to the first man through.
Flag in the play. Looked like Abington's left side of the line jumped before the snap. Penalty against Abington, 5 yards, and it's going to be 1st and 15, and that's going to put the ball back on the Abington 20-yard line. A little sloppy on both sides here in the beginning of this 3rd period.
My thoughts. Exactly my thoughts, Jack.
So we have our principal here behind us, Mr. Spencer. All right, out of the huddle comes Abington, double tight, wishbone formation, 1st and 15 on their own 20-yard line. Norristown in a 52 defense, quick handoff to the fullback. No,
and he breaks it.
No, he broke it. Fake to the fullback, gave to the left halfback, and he broke it for a 14-yard gain. 14-yard gain. The ball's been placed on the 35-yard line of Abington, and it's 2nd down and 1.
2nd 1.
Looks like everybody went for the fullback, and they handed it off.
I think it's the first time they showed that tonight, isn't it?
Right.
Oh, we got a split end right.
Wishbone set. Roberts, a quarterback. Roberts takes the ball, quick handoff to the fullback. He has the 1st down. Once again, Bud, it's like you said in that first period, that Abington line's pushing ours right off the ball. All right, it's a 1st down for Abington on the 41-yard line. Out of the huddle comes Abington. Wilkins breaks the huddle, has the center. Roberts over the ball. Split ends real wide to the right. Wishbone set. Maybe an option play to the field. No, option away to the short side of the field. Option to the short side of the field. The pitch is to Redmond,
Pickup
who
of
picks
about
up
4
about
yards.
5 yards.
4 or 5 yards.
Tackle was made by Tom Bicella, number 30. Second down and 5. And they're on the 47-yard line of Abington. Second down and 5 for the Ghost. Out of the hollow they come. Double tight end. Now, number 81 is splitting. Split to the right, wishbone set. Hand off to the left halfback on a counter dive. He picks up about 2 yards on the play.
You notice they're playing our linebackers off now, Jack, and they're just reading.
Right. It's going to make it 3rd down and 1. 3rd and 1. And the ball's on the 49-yard line. Play coming in here from the sideline, Coach Moister. Abington breaks from the huddle. Split end to the short side of the field. Wishbone set. Norristown in a 52 defense. Roberts takes the ball, hands it off to the fullback, and I believe he has a first down. Ball now goes in Norristown territory to the 49-yard line of Norristown.
And that time tackle was made by number 4, Jones.
Jones does an excellent job as a defensive end and as a tight end. Most of the Norristown players go both ways.
Yeah, that's what we said in the beginning of the game. They have 7 young men that go both ways, so at this stage they really have to suck it up, keep their nose to the grind.
All right, we have a double tight wishbone set. First time Abington's had the ball in Norristown territory. Roberts barking out the signals, takes the ball, hands it off to the second back through. That's Wooden, number 23, and he picks up a good 7 yards. They're moving the ball once again, Bud.
Just running off that tackle.
We're going to have a situation where the ball is resting on the Norristown 45-yard line. Second down and 4. Split end to the right for Abington. Abington's on the move. 3 consecutive first downs on a wishbone set. Roberts hands off to the fullback.
Fumble
on the play.
All right.
And it looks like Norristown
recovers.
Well, Bud, as this is any omen,
fumble recovered by Lockwood.
When we covered the 2 turnovers that Abington had in the second period, we turned them into 2 scores. Norristown takes over on their own 41-yard line. First down and 10. 2 minutes and 39 seconds in the third period. Norristown 14, Abington 13. Norristown comes out with a slot.
Split end right with a solid backfield.
Right. Counter play to Jackson. Boy, he was stuck. There was a beautiful hit. Number 13. Number 13 of Abington. That's High. Made a real good hit.
He stood him up in the hole.
It looks like somebody's hurt there of Abington. Down in the field, officials timeout. Trainers coming out in the field. Well, it's going to be second down and 8. Second and 8. And the ball's going to be resting on the Norristown 43-yard line. You know, Bud, Abington started a drive there. They had 3 consecutive first downs, and then that fumble was like a savior for Norristown.
It looked like Lockwood penetrated just as he was handing the ball off, and that's what brought about the fumble.
Good penetration by Lockwood. We're waiting right now. The Abington players down in the field, 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third period. If you've just tuned in, Norristown has the ball on their own 43-yard line. 14-13, Norristown in the third period. I hope this young lad isn't hurt that badly. It looks like to me
they
it's
have
number
him sitting
13.
up now.
I don't know. Is there number 13, Bud, in that program? There's a 3 there. I don't know if it's.
13 is Brian High. If that's who made the hit. That's the young man who made the hit. It looks like he came out on the short end.
I tell you, he made a beautiful, beautiful stick there. Okay, we're ready to play. Brian Hyde's back up on his feet. Goes off the field. Lester calling the plays for Norristown, a quarterback this evening.
Split end left.
We have a pro set. Pro eye. Looks like a passing situation. Lester takes the ball, fading back.
Oh,
Goes
yes.
deep. Oh, my. Nice defense. Nice defense
It was
there by Mills. Mills of Abington knocked the ball out of the hands
Of Dobbs.
of Darrell Dobbs.
It was a good call. Good call.
And there was good pass protection back there. For a moment there, I thought the defensive end of Abington was going to get in there and the quarterback, and one of our linemen peeled back and took him down. Okay, we have a third down situation, 3rd and 8. Ball still resting the 43-yard line. And again, it's a passing situation. We have a pro set eye. Lester fades back to pass, throws out in the flat. Good pass out in the flat. Number 4,
Good enough for
Craig
first down.
Jones. Craig
Pick up
Jones
of about
catches the
23
ball,
yards.
makes 20-some yards on the play. 1st and 10 for Norristown in Abington territory. The ball's being spotted on the 37, actually the 36-yard line. Craig Jones was on the receiving end of that pass. Lester did a good job in that, bud.
Excellent.
Out of the huddle come the Eagles, split end left, full house backfield. Looks like a running set. Norristown's going to be penalized. I believe one of the inside. I believe the guard jumped, the right guard.
Looked like there was movement in there.
The play was intended to be a power play. Steve Jackson was carrying off right tackle. Procedure penalty against Norristown. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. The ball now moves back to the Abington 41-yard line, and it's a 1st down and 15. You know, Bud, we only have a minute and 20 seconds with the wind. I think if I was Coach Grove, I'd take advantage of it and see if I couldn't get a quick touchdown.
I think that's why he's going to the air. Trying to conserve the time and get a quick score in here.
All right, here's a passing set, a pro set with the eye. Lester's fading back to pass. Good protection. Over the middle.
Pass.
Nice catch by, who was that, Jones, number 4?
Number 4, Jones.
Jones, a beautiful catch.
And boy, did Lester take a hit.
And he fired the ball. You know, Bud, what was nice about that play, great about that play, he stayed in that pocket to the last second. And he threaded the needle.
He's not afraid to take the hit.
He can take a hit.
And that's what made the play. He stayed in there.
1st down and 10 for the Eagles on the Abington 26. Again, a pro set with the eye and only 45 seconds with the wind. Lester calling the signals. Again, he's passing. He's telegraphing this. Throws the ball to
fumble.
Number 5.
Abington's ball.
Kelly catches the ball. He's hit, fumbles the ball, and Abington recovers on their own 20-yard line.
Recovered by Wilson, number 32 for Abington.
That's a tough break. We were on our way, and deep in Abington territory, the fumble came on the 20-yard line. That's the breaks of football.
And what's open in that Abington secondary is the curl and the look-in.
The curl's definitely there. That's the one Steve Jackson set up in the second touchdown Norristown got in the second period. Okay, Bud, out of the huddle comes a ghost. Double tight wishbone set. Linebackers are playing rather loose back here.
And they're reading.
Look like we're in a 4-man front.
Before they were
off to the left halfback.
earlier in the game, the linebackers getting caught moving to the hole, and now it looks like they've set them off maybe 2.5 yards and they're reading.
Gain of about 3 yards in that play, and that ends the 3rd period. Rather dull period. I think both teams feeling each other out in that period.
And with some sloppy play on both sides.
What was it, 3 or 4 turnovers, but nobody took advantage of them.